It's easy to look like $1,000,000 when you're wearing $1,000,000. Here's what Catherine, Princess of Wales, does to make the royal collection of tiaras special. You'd think you would have seen more of Catherine, Princess of Wales, in sparkling toppers, given her position and public visibility. Surprisingly, as of December 2022, she'd been spotted out and about in tiaras only 13 times. Occasions to borrow jewelry from the royal vaults have been plenty in the decade that she's been a royal, but tiara indulgence isn't a task as straightforward as fairy tales make it seem. Many age-old customs limit the times and places a tiara can be worn. Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams told Insider, "They are worn on formal white tie events and state occasions such as state banquets." The wearing of tiaras is apparently also guided by personal preference. And it seems Catherine likes to keep headaches to a minimum. But when it comes to it, the princess is spoiled for choice. Harper's Bazaar says that Queen Elizabeth II's collection is said to hold approximately 50 tiaras whose value runs into the millions. The only 3 tiaras that Catherine has worn to date, the Cartier Halo, the Lover's Knot, and the Lotus Flower, have all been obtained from the late monarch's collection, and she has made each loan worth it, making headlines with every single tiara moment. It was a moment on April 29, 2011, when Catherine, Princess of Wales, first walked up the stairs of Westminster Abbey in her wedding fineries. The to-be royal had perfectly dressed the part of a princess stepping into her real-life fairy tale, complete with an exquisite headpiece, the Cartier Halo tiara, a royal heirloom that has graced royal heads for decades. The piece was commissioned in 1936 for Queen Elizabeth by George VI, who procured the diamond tiara for his wife from jewelry house Cartier, which has its own storied history.
The jewelry is extravagant and gorgeous and incredibly meticulously made, so you're dazzled by both the beauty and then the intricacy.
Encrusted with almost 1,000 brilliant diamonds, the dainty tiara features a platinum frame decked with scroll motifs. The Queen passed the tiara to her daughter Princess Elizabeth when she turned 18, according to the court jeweler. The young princess generously shared her birthday present with her sister Princess Margaret, who was spotted sporting the tiara often, and later with her daughter Princess Anne after becoming queen. At approximately $1.7 million, according to The Knot, the Cartier Halo isn't even the priciest of tiaras in the royal coffers, but holds high repute for being a young royal favorite. With precious pearls suspended over delicate arches that silhouette flower designs, the Lotus Flower tiara is every bit the typical tiara. So Catherine, Princess of Wales, made a fine choice by reaching for it for her first state banquet after becoming royalty. She'd first worn it for the palace's annual reception in 2013, but her second outing with the Lotus Flower is when she showed up. All eyes were on Catherine, who stole the show with her $1,000,000 smile and tiara for the dinner during Xi Jinping's visit in October 2015. The Lotus Flower was a prized possession of Queen Elizabeth's and, interestingly, hadn't always been a tiara. The diamond-encrusted regalia was originally a necklace gifted to the Queen Mother by her husband, King George VI, as a wedding gift in 1923, according to Daily Express. However, just months after getting it, she switched up her gift and got the necklace altered into a tiara. The diadem remained a longtime favorite of her younger daughter, Princess Margaret, and ultimately ended up in the royal jewelry collection. Catherine, Princess of Wales, brought out the ravishing Cambridge Lover's Knot tiara for the palace's annual diplomatic reception in 2016. This specific Lover's Knot has a century-long history and has been in the British royal family since 1914. According to the court jeweler, Queen Mary's grandmother, Princess Augusta, Duchess of Cambridge, claimed ownership over the original Lover's Knot and passed it down to her daughter, Grand Duchess Augusta. The Queen was so enamored by the tiara that she commissioned the House of Gerard to create another of a similar make. The tiara's distinct design includes 38 teardrop pearls, 19 encrusted arches, and knot-like motifs, which lends the legendary headpiece its name. Queen Elizabeth II inherited the Cambridge Lover's Knot from her mother, kindly sharing it with her daughter-in-law and granddaughter-in-law. Queen Elizabeth II inherited the tiara from her grandmother, Queen Mary, and it was given to Diana as a wedding gift in 1981. In all her years as a royal A-lister and a fashion icon, Diana wore the Lover's Knot enough times for it to become her trademark tiara. The court jeweler has pointed out that this was the only tiara from the British monarchy's coffers that Diana was ever photographed wearing. Following Diana's divorce, the precious headpiece returned to the palace, only for Catherine to pick up on her mother-in-law's tradition. For the royal reception, Catherine also donned the red Jenny Packham gown she had previously worn for the 2015 state banquet. To to complement the lover's knot. As for the original, it was auctioned off in 1981 for a hefty sum, and its present whereabouts are unknown. It became apparent that the Cambridge lover's knot was loved by Catherine, Princess of Wales. The lover's knot made its fifth stunning public appearance atop Catherine's head in October 2018 at a state banquet honoring Dutch royals. She paired the tiara with an icy blue mermaid gown by Alexander McQueen and an heirloom necklace that belonged to Queen Alexandra, but wearing the lover's knot apparently doesn't feel as dreamy as it looks. Legend famously goes that this bejeweled headpiece was heavy enough to give Diana headaches. Gemologist Deborah Pappas told the Daily Express, "The pearls are large and, together with the array of varying sizes of diamonds, would add to a hefty weight. Given the effortless grace Catherine carries it with, one could never guess. And it wouldn't be the last time the lover's knot would make an appearance." In September 2022, after her husband William became Prince of Wales, Catherine was bestowed the royal rank of Princess of Wales. For her first public appearance since assuming the title, Catherine showed up for a state banquet at Buckingham Palace in November wearing a Jenny Packham cape gown and the familiar lover's knot. The gesture was likely sentimental given that the iconic headpiece was beloved by Princess Diana, who once stood where her daughter-in-law Catherine now does. It marked the first time in 3 years that Catherine was spotted sporting a precious diadem, which made her outing as a tiara-bearing princess all the more memorable. Catherine's royal tribute didn't end there. Elle reports that the pearls adorning her ears were once part of Diana's jewelry collection as well. Hello also wrote that her choice of a white ensemble can also be tied to Queen Elizabeth II's preference for the color for state events. Catherine, Princess of Wales, slipped on the tasteful Lotus Flower tiara once again for the palace's diplomatic reception in December 2022. The look shadowed the one from the state banquet in 2015, except this time she paired the Lotus Flower with an equally regal red number by Jenny Packham. In a never-before-seen style, the headpiece sat atop the princess's flowing locks, in contrast to all the times that her hair under a tiara had been slicked back into a bun, people pointed out. Catherine's style was called Barbie core by Harper's Bazaar.
This summer, think pink, Barbie pink. It's the hot trend sweeping the nation, called Barbie core.
Notably, the only royal head the diamond and pearl headpiece has been seen on since its previous holder, Princess Margaret's death in 2002, is Catherine's. According to Women's Wear Daily, vintage pictures show that its original wearer, Queen Elizabeth, didn't place the lotus flower atop her head at all, preferring instead to seat it low on her forehead, conforming to the early 20th century tradition of wearing tiaras. Author Leslie Field revealed that this tiara's delicate make probably renders it comfortable to wear. No headaches with this one. The world has only been treated to the sight of Catherine, Princess of Wales in tiaras, but a future where we see her in a crown may not be too far. Catherine is next in line to the royal title of Queen Consort, a position currently held by King Charles III's wife, Camilla. And when her time for succession comes, it is believed that Catherine will be coronated with one of the most priceless pieces from the royal family coffers, the Queen Mother's crown. Studded with a dazzling Koh-i-Noor diamond in a platinum frame, glittering with another 2,800 diamonds, the regalia was designed in 1937 for Queen Elizabeth and then handed down to her daughter Queen Elizabeth II. Royal sources state that a queen consort is crowned with the king, steering expectations for Catherine's crowning when William, Prince of Wales, assumes the throne after his father. In the meantime, the Queen Mother's crown may find a new wearer in Camilla, who will be honored at the king's coronation in May 2023. But the 105.6-carat Koh-i-Noor's long-disputed history that links it to Britain's colonial past in India, along with contested claims of ownership, might prompt a major alteration to the headpiece. Like everything else in the royal family, the wearing of tiaras comes with a rulebook.
How do you put it around your neck?
You don't, Lovey. It goes on your head.
You must think I was born yesterday.
These elegant headpieces have commanded great significance in aristocratic traditions for centuries, and are not without its own codes of propriety. The foremost rule makes tiaras an adornment to be worn only by married women, making them a public sign that the woman is taken, etiquette specialist Grant Harrell told the BBC. Though the wedding tiara is ideally expected to come from the bride's own family collection, former non-aristocrat Catherine, Princess of Wales, opted for a British royal family heirloom on her big day. Forbes reports that the correct way to wear a tiara is by aligning its bejeweled make with the angle of its wearer's face so it sparkles through in full glory. The band must be well affixed and concealed by hair. Interestingly, the tiara is guided less by rank than by events that justify its wearing. Considered a part of formal evening attire, tiaras are traditionally mandated to be worn only after 6 p.m., replacing daytime hats and fascinators, says Marie Claire, which probably explains why one doesn't see Catherine out and about in tiaras too often.